Wow, aren't you glad I'm holding a remote and not a knife in the beginning of this review? Some people said it was terrifying. And some people also said I had a bar of plutonium glowing there. Ooh. I actually found his comments and I took his timestamps and I put it in the last video. Maybe you guys remember. Well, anyway, anybody who has been following my career in Nerf knows that I started out with pretty much a retaliator. Okay? I started out with a recon and then quickly moved to retaliators because I knew a lot about recons. Anybody knows I made the first 14 kilogram retaliator, did about 110 feet flat. That was up for debate for a while until, of course, I proved it. And from there on in, retaliators have gone quite a long ways. Okay? Just a few years ago, Worker came out with a prophecy, and it was a really great blaster because it offered customization and, ooh, this cool blue. This is what got me thinking that Worker was cool, because they have the taste to make at least a blaster with cool blue. They have parts readily available, and it was really cool. So this was about a $200 blaster right here, which is good, but it's still not, really cool. So everybody knows the last few HVZs, except for the last one, I was playing with a retaliator for the most part. Except the last one I was playing with a Mauser Fire and a couple high-power Cronoses. And I survived Stalking Dead. I actually did, And so, to me, ever since then, I kind of moved away, and I was more into small pistols, things like that. And anyone who's seen the last Aeon Pro videos I did knows that, oh yeah, I could do a lot with those. That basic design of short piston throw and short handy blaster. That you're not limited by size for power and range anymore. But some people still prefer to have something in that package. Well, today I'm going to review something that I believe might be the best, most economical package of this. Now, I know you're like, yeah, another review of the NP, but let's get on with it, shall we? Today we're going to review this. I'm going to do the opening and the description. I have a few little test fires inside, and then I think we're going to go outside, and this time not look like a Smith. Sorry, traumatized from the whole Kyle thing, if anybody remembers that. Yeah. Well, anyway, so let's pull out. So let's pull out a knife. No, I'm not going to cut you up. And let's get this thing open, shall we? Yay, hooray. So we open this up, and what do we got? We got 12 of the full lengths, 12 of the half lengths. We have a full length mag, a half length mag adapter, a half length mag, a muzzle brake, a rear stock, a rear sight. Now put in mind, people say, well, that rear sight's useless. I don't think so. You want to know why I don't think it's useless? I don't think it's useless because has anybody ever seen my old videos where I had that Winchester sight that came with the Recon? I actually fixed it to the back of the stock. And I was using it back when I used to arch blasters. I was shooting less than 150 feet per second. I used it to arch. Well, this platform is 150 feet per second out of the box. So if you think about it, a Winchester type arching sight is actually a good idea. Okay, so let's get this thing open. You can open it from the side. You get happy instructions. Who reads those? We're men, right? It's like we don't get directions. We don't do anything. We just do it. Okay, so first let's liberate the blaster. Yeah. I know you guys wanted on my butter knife action, so I will show it. I will show it to you. There's the blaster, the magazine, the muzzle brake. Muzzle brake's just like the one on the Aeon Pro, so you're not getting anything special. It's just, Let's get this Winchester sight out of here. Because I want to be like John Wayne. Let's, mag adapter. And let's get this rear stock out of here. And I'm going to leave the full-length mag and the darts in here for reasons. Well, I'll liberate the darts anyway, but me, myself, I have no use for this magazine. I just don't. I'm a half-only person. Okay, so let's get this thing assembled. First, I would like to note out that the sight here, I think what a lot of people miss... No, actually, no, it's not. Huh, you know, that would have been a really good touch if this sight actually lined up with here. So you actually didn't need to put that there. That's interesting. So what happens if I put this on here? On the back. Yeah, it needs a little raise up here. So that's actually level. Okay. Alright. First thing I noticed is that this sight doesn't line up to this like I thought it was. Now, that would be nice if it did. It would be a little hard because if you took this off, you would be kind of cheeky. Well, you know what? This is a cheek piece would work. Yeah. But they didn't do it that way. What I would almost do is make a low-profile sight that fits this to this, and there it is. There are lots of low-profile rails that are available that make this equal. For example, you know, Foamdetic makes it, Chicken Creations makes it, a whole bunch of people make them, you know. But overall, wow, yeah, there it is. So I'm going to take this thing and load this up with some darts. Do I have this in the right direction? Oh, I do. Oh, surprisingly. Let's see. Huh. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. That's a lot, again, a lot of take-up, but I understand why they're doing it. It's to convert it to full length. Me, of course, I live in a universe where I don't even think full length should exist. Right. So if I were to Twilight Zone anything out of this universe, I would just get rid of all full length. That's just me. I know you're kind of people are going to hate on me, but you know what I mean. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, I better take this off. Huh. It's fairly easy to prime. Let's throw some darts in here and let's just rapid fire across my room. Just gun it down like I'm some sort of terrorist or something. I just feel like doing that today, to be honest. I'm not doing it for the show. I just feel like shooting up my room with a bunch of halfies. Maybe you guys remember last video where I actually got, like, you got it. I got all those little half-length darts in there. Yeah, I got 500 of them. So I have a lot of darts to just go and do this. Ah! Oh, doesn't slam. That was so fun. And then the one where I had a bunch of them, it actually shotgunned a bunch of darts. I wish you could have seen that. But I don't have a camera on the other side. But that was fun. And I tell you, if you ever have a midlife crisis or a nervous breakdown or anything, just breaking out a dart blaster and bam, 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 it's just so much fun. I want to do that again. I want to do that again. Yeah, this is great. You can just get back from work and you just have a bad day and just go, ah! I did it again. I just feel like, okay, I did it again. I held down the trigger and did this again. Why? Because it just feels like a blaster that really could have used a slam mode. It has such a very light action and it's not hard to prime and it's very handy that it would almost just be better with a slam mode. I know they were going for a RET firing system here and it can hold a lot of power. Sure, but the thing is that it just feels like it needs to be like an Alpha Trooper, you know, an Alpha Trooper, right? So I'm almost thinking one of the things that maybe Adventure Force should do is come with a slam fire mode on maybe another version, and maybe make one that you know, yeah, Alpha Trooper. That would be really cool. Because these blasters, they're about the same size, they're about the same weight. This one has, of course, a much, much nicer pump action to it. But, yeah. But I also notice the barrel's really loose. So if you load a bunch of darts in here, it will shotgun them. As many people have brought up before, you can fit any type of ammo in here. Mega. You can shoot a rifle ball, but you know, it's going to go like 50 feet per second. It's not really worth it. So really you should focus on what it's meant for. What it's meant for is full length and half length, mainly half length, okay? and you should go with it there. The other thing is safety. I can't reach it way up here. It's way so you literally have to take your other hand and do that. That's not a big deal for a blaster that's two-handed. I can hit it from here, no problem. But the thumb, wow, that took a lot of effort. Here, let me show you what I did. Oh, it's just Chris acting goofy. I don't want to hit my new LCD. That would really suck. Okay, so at any rate, yeah, that is pretty crazy. So, and the other thing I'm hearing, another complaint, and you can see it from it just geometrically, it's just dropping off from here to here, is that this has a tendency to break. There have been people that borrowed these at wars and broke them and everything else, and to be honest with you, they should have made this a little bit more of a transfer or made this a little more sturdy. This seems to be the weak point of the blaster, because you have a straight 90 degrees right there. I mean, it's cool if you're not going to roughhouse it, but if you do roughhouse it, you know, people can get rough with blasters. I mean, I'm rough with kids, and people say, hey, we can make it out of ABS, that's fine, and everybody complains because they're breaking them. I'm like, no, but why are they breaking them? Because people are hard on them. It's, you know, it's not me who's 45 and patient and gentle on things. There are people who really do push things to the limit. And that's kind of where, like, Worker, for example, they use a polycarbonate sled, and they use a metal pusher and everything else. I mean, you do get what you pay for. And it's because people they need that durability. And so these guys build on more of the durable side. This one, you got internal prime. And I think internal prime's better because have you ever gone out in the field and you felt these two bolts just go loose on you? Ugh, it's a freaking pain in the butt. Not to mention, Worker bolts tend to strip. And this one, they're not doing that, okay? And that internal prime is, it's really nice. It's really cool. I like it. You can see the aluminum barrel that just begs to become a brass one. And it's got a pretty good amount of punch to it for an out-of-the-box blaster. So, if you think about it, it's a great value for 50 bucks. Would I recommend you get it for your 14-plus-year-old kid for Christmas? Absolutely. Or an Aeon Pro, or both. Absolutely. And then next year they're coming out, 2021, they're coming out with magazines. And people say, well, you know, Talon for the win. No, not Talon for the win. These are really nice. I like these. You can put, like, I can put a whole belt rig of, like, these 12 rounders on. Just, like, 20 of them around my belt. And just go, yeah, Mr. Magazine Man! And I could have fun with it. I can't see doing that with a 15 Talon or an 18 Talon. I think these 12 rounders do have a place. Not only that, they're probably going to make a Dart Zone Pro 15, and they're probably going to make them available. I think that's a really good idea. So, at any rate, let's take this outside. I have a lot of thoughts about this blaster, and what I believe it can do, and what also I believe maybe it can't do. And the only way it's going to earn its salt is go outside and have some fun and stop being a crazy man shooting everything in my room but my LCD. No one shoots my LCD. Alrighty, well, here we got the NP. Oh, where's the magazine? Well, you know what's cool about this? I can fit 2 of these in my pocket, maybe even 3. This is what's so nice about the 12 round size. And let's face it, not all of us are going to have, like, frickin' mole packs, mole gear, that kind of stuff. Sometimes you just want a magazine that just fits. And that's the nice thing about not only these being thin, but being small as well. So let's see, let's load this up. Let's throw a few down range and see how we're doing. I like this pump action. It feels solid, it feels nice. This doesn't feel clumsy or weak or it's going to break. But this blaster is kind of small. Alright. Let's see. Oh, it's pretty good. Yeah. This is really good. It has good rate of fire. It's very smooth. It doesn't jam. I mean, for 50 bucks. I mean, seriously, that's nice. I do wish they came out with the magazines first, and the reason is, I think a lot of people bought these. The pros like me bought these, and they immediately went to Worker and bought Talon mags. Now, if they would have had the magazines in 3 packs, 2 packs, 5 packs, probably 2 packs, they would have had the market right off the bat. So people would have gone, oh, great, let's, let's just buy a bunch of Talon mags. So now I think the problem is with bringing these magazines out in 2021, you're kind of saturated now with the Talon mags. Like the pros now have all the Talon mags, okay? And had they had these magazines available from day one, it wouldn't have been so. Plus, I think a lot of us are going to buy like 3 or 4 of these, so we're going to have a lot of these magazines. But nonetheless, I really think that, the new people will have them, but the old people, I don't like the fact that this bottom here does not exactly line to that. So let me line the bottom up to the bottom. Where does it go? I'm going to line it right up to the top of the wall. See? It's a few feet off. The center is actually deck to deck on this. So it's hard to know where 0 is at point blank with this blaster. So I kind of wish they would have put a picture. Another thing I think they should have done with this right here, they should have put an aperture sight or a lineup when it's down, because this is level with the sight picture when it's down. Well, not quite. It's like right here, and I think they could have designed this just a little better. It's not going to go farther than 90 degrees. So on top of that, if that had a post here, and when it went back over here, the post is back here, it would also make another stop for this. So I think it would have been better. The other problem is it just comes off too easy, and you can't move it anywhere up or down the rail because this is backstopped on the back here. It's a small little detail. Most people won't do it. Most people will just throw a red dot on here. We'll just throw a sight on here. We'll just throw something on here. However, it would have been nice if they would have just designed this just a little better. They could have done it, okay? Another thing is, don't mess with this. This is really fragile. Don't hold it around and go, yay, or try to tag somebody with HUV like this, because of course it would hurt, and you'd probably break this. But I'm going to put like a reinforcement back here or whatever, because I think you know me. If I go any shorter than this, I mean, my elbow's already out. If I go any shorter than this, I do this. You think, look at me. Oh, look at me. I'm playing with a Nerf blaster. Yeah, you know what I mean. Oh, the N-word, Nerf. I can't say that. That's like saying, okay, mentioned Christmas before Thanksgiving. But we're almost at Thanksgiving. This will probably come out during Thanksgiving. So you're off the hook there. No more elves are going to die. We've already lost 3 this year. Now, I'm interested in seeing what the sight references is at stock shooting uphill. So I think I'm going to take this dot here and move it to the first notch. See, a lot of people don't know that, how to use Winchester sights, which is a lot of the reason why people were dogging on it. Alright, I'm about middle of the hill there. Let's go to the second one. Okay. Alright, just short of the tree. As you can see, it's taking in quite a bit of deflection to hit this thing. Okay, let's go to the top here. Come on, please say I can hit the tree from here. I mean, if I arch it all the way, I can hit it. I mean, just at the perch of that tree. So this thing has got uphill range. It's 150 feet if you're shooting uphill. That hill's about 45 feet. The top of the tree is 85 feet. You can't hit the top from the tree. So another thing you can use for trajectory, because I used to trajectory shoot, we call this high angle sniper, is I used to take this rear post and I used to put them up to these rails that were on the recon. Well, now we have all these little steps here that you can take a magic marker and say, okay, this is 150, this is 200, this is 180. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing you can do with this, is you can actually, alright, so I'm going to line, so you line this point up with that point and that point. So you look at it like you're looking through the barrel, and you line the points up, and can I hit the tree? Yes, I hit the tree. But it went way over because of the wind, but you know, the darts are flying nice and smooth. Another reason I do tests like this is to see what the darts are. But I need a lot of deflection to hit that. Where a blaster like a bird of prey, or a blaster like even a chronomag, a Mauser fire, I would say a Mauser fire. Well, no, I probably would need that much deflection for a Mauser fire, but normally I don't need that much deflection to hit it, you know? So, like, for example, let me show you what happens if I mod If I take my modded Aeon Pro, that's shooting at about 270, 280 right now, and I tried to shoot at the tree. Well, we're out here for fun, so just for shits and giggles. Let's fire my modded A Pro at it. 18.5K, has the brass barrel on it, going 11 to the pusher, and 9 5/8 from the end of the dart gate. Okay, so this is the advantage of having power, is you can do stuff like this. Let's shoot the top of the tree. Ah, fucking safety. Boom! I just hit it straight on. I mean, no deflection. No, I'm gonna aim for the middle of the tree. Look at that. Wow, I hit the stump. That's incredible. So, if you think about it in terms of, not only are these things good rate of fire, pump action, everything, but you could possibly hand it to Cartaya and he could do something like that with it. Oh, that's great. That's really great. What happens if I throw a trajectory sight on it? No, there's no place for a trajectory sight. Oh, see, that would have been nice too. Have a place on here that had a rail on it. That would have been good too. Another afterthought when I was building this thing. That's not primed? Okay, good. So, yeah. Let's fire one more just to have fun. Okay, are you ready? Well, are you ready? Let's aim for the center one, the top of the center one. Oh, that is just so cool. That is just so cool. 160 feet away, 85 up, and I can nail those trees. But do you see why velocity plays such an important role? It affects your trajectory of your blaster. And if you don't have really good velocity, you have to have a means of launching it. Which is why I think this was a very critical thing to build, and it was a critical thing to build right. But they don't provide you any 0 points at stock to what it is, and they also don't make this centered from here to here, and they don't make this centered from here to here. I don't like the fact that they made no point of this blaster neutral to the sight picture, and you are really now dependent on aftermarket sights. You don't have a choice because of that, and I kind of don't like that. But other than that, I like the rate of fire. I like the fact that it'll even fit a katana mag. I like the fact that I can just, you know, let's put this muzzle on to be Mr. Cool, you know. I like the fact that I keep doing that. I keep holding it down like it's slam fire. Forgive me. Yeah. I like the fact that you have the rapid rate of fire. You do, for some instinctual reason, want to make it slam. I keep holding it down and expecting it to fire. Yeah. Maybe somebody should do a slam mode mod for this thing. I don't know. But, nonetheless, it is nice. You have good rate of fire. You have decent range. You have decent hardware. A couple little gripes, such as the stock and the inside here. Let's go inside for our final conclusion, shall we? And I load the darts in wrong. Another real fallacy of these is, why didn't they put 2 notches on these like the katanas? I'm so used to these being in either direction. And there it is. And it's not like I can't Dremel out that little notch. I sure can. But, yeah. So again, my final thoughts on this blaster, the Nexus Pro. I was expecting it to feel more like a Prophecy. And I think it's because of Prophecy, most of them had the N25 spring, that you had an option. And ever since I had this blaster that was donated to me from Monkey Mods, I had an N25 in here. I put in a large tube and I had the longer barrel. And for some reason, and I don't know why, but this could be a good cue to make a really good follow-up product. It felt more like an Alpha Trooper. And I just instinctively, for some reason, just feel like I wanna hold down the trigger and fire away. Like, this thing has such good rate of fire, and that it can actually do that. The accuracy is acceptable, but not the greatest. I really think that this rear sight could have been thought up a little better, but there's a lot worse things that you can misthink up on a blaster. Firing system, trigger catch, what plastics you use for the pusher. I mean, really, it's probably just as strong, if not stronger, than the Aeon Pro. Maybe a little weaker. I don't know. Ooh, I just hit myself with a dart. Can you believe that? Yeah. So maybe than the Aeon Pro, but it still seems a lot stronger than, let's say, a Hasbro product or even like an out-of-the-box Busby product. You know, I don't feel like the blast is going to fall apart or it's weak. But even from here, halfway across my room, I cannot hit my string. Which with my Pro Mod, I can hit that string almost every time. And with a Mauser Fire, I can definitely hit the string every time from all the way across my room, 10 feet. So definitely could use a barrel here. I do think that they should have gone with a little bit more of the standardization of scars. They should have made this with a barrel end that's 5/8 on the end, and made it so the outside would fit a scar, about 3/4. So you could put a scar in there, and that would look really cool. However, they didn't. And they went with this outside insert rather than over the barrel insert for the blaster. So I think they went a little outside the standard there, and I think that they would have profited a little better. It's not that it's going to matter. People are going to buy Monkey Mod barrels for these. People are going to buy brass barrels for these if they want to mod them. But if you're really going for the consumer market, you want to make this as streamlined to what's established in the community as possible. And you want to make it so it goes along with a little more of their aftermarket products. Are they planning on doing their own proprietary stuff? And does it necessarily make it proprietary to make it an outside attachment piece like this rather than inside? No, I don't think so. It also doesn't center to the barrel. As you guys may know, let's pull out Big Blue here, which without me lubing it, greasing it, or firing it for about 4 months, I was able to pull this on a chronograph with an Adventure Force Pro dart. Yeah, so let me give you an example. So this is using 70/32 brass. A lot of people use 5/8 aluminum. So I have it so that this is my barrel attachment, my Merlin. As you can see, pretty goddamn cool, right? Actually speeds up the blaster, doesn't slow down the blaster, which you're going to find maybe in Bradley Phillips' Saber video, that he's got a really great blaster with a really great construction and everything else, but they're using a scar that slows it down. These don't. But then again, these aren't commercially acceptable. So here's the thing. I put this on here. There it is. It centers it to the barrel. It makes it so this scope is accurate. Bro, if my scope doesn't just fall off the damn rear of this thing, but you know, that looks pretty terrifying, doesn't it? Well, it is. Luckily, it's not primed. I wouldn't shoot a 368 foot per second with Adventure Force darts out of here. And I'm sure when I redo the rings and everything else, because it's not holding full air seal at the moment, because it's been sitting around, the rings probably settled a little. It will probably do faster than that. But nonetheless, I really felt that that there are certain things on here that are really great, a wonderful blaster, but they just, like I said, they could have gone a little bit more industry standard on a few things. I like the mag adapter, and I like anything that is not 3D print and is not going to deform or melt in California sun or sitting in my trunk of the car after a Nerf meet, eating, you know, at the hat with my friends at Armageddon. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. And I think this enables a lot of really great things. But I think that your next series should be a sniper, maybe like this, and B, a slam mode. I really think people would love that. And let's not mention flywheel blasters. So this is my advice to Primetime Toys. This is my advice to Dart Zone and Adventure Force, is you have made a really great blaster, a wonderful blaster, but it could still be better. Even at 150 feet per second, it can still be better, and it can still be absolutely great. I give this 4.5 stars. I give the Am Pro 5 stars, because it's about the closest I ever thought anyone was ever going to make an Archer pistol. I give this 4.5 stars, and I say, I like this blaster. I'm going to mod it, and I'm probably going to hang that prophecy up in a picture frame somewhere. It's a great blaster. I love the color. But this, to me, is more practical. And a lot of people dog on the size, the look of it, but I personally like the look of it. I personally like the size of it. I like the internal prime. They use a internal prime bobbin for it. And it is the smoothest pump action prime I've ever felt in any blaster. And especially any off-the-shelf off-the-shelf pump-action blaster because either a Pyragon is a piece of plastic or an Alpha Trooper is just a wire. This thing actually has a priming bar that goes above the V magazine, as you can see. It has a little bobbin there to keep it from pushing up, and it has a bobbin inside here held by 4 rails that actually prime it. So it's very, very secure platform to prime. You are best off actually making a mod kit for this. I really think this blaster can hit 270, 280, like an Aeon Pro, maybe even faster, if some care and some work were put into making some real mod kits with this. As we saw with the Aeon Pro, the strangulation point being that pusher, I think it can use a wider pusher, and so can this. And I also think that, you know, this is just a canvas for painting. It's just a canvas for putting the skin on there. I think it's a great blaster that's moddable. It has not met its limit by any means. Unlike a lot of blasters I can see, I think the MK2 is going to be like that, where people are hoping for 200 feet per second with the Dry Zone MK2, but I really don't think so. I don't think it has the plunger tube draw. I don't think it has the barrel. I don't think it has the means for it. And if you lengthen the barrel at all, you're making it not usable by the holster. There's a lot of limitations with that blaster. But I think as a modder, focus on this. Focus on the Aeon Pro. Focus on, believe it or not, I have a friend, Nick Anderson. He actually made a blaster with the Ultraline. That was really cool. So the Ultraline's not dead either. But let's just say they went with the wrong direction. And Primetime Toys went the right direction, making something that is half length and full length. I like half length the best. But you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So at any rate, this is Chris Cartaya saying, don't you go changing, or I'll freaking find you. I'd shoot you right now if I wasn't out of darts. See? I'm out of darts.